Before Justin Jefferson was the best NFL receiver, he was a 2-star prospect out of Destrehan, Louisiana. And that's where we pick up today, as I'll be replaying Justin Jefferson's college career to see how his career pans out. We'll have a couple of goals to achieve throughout this video, like surpassing Justin's actual college career stats and even winning a national championship again. Okay, so we enter his freshman year at an 83 overall, and to be honest, it's a little too high for him, but I am not complaining. We'll need all the help we can get, because being an 83 overall would already help us, as we would have a position battle ahead of us. Okay, this is to move up on the depth chart. Throw it, please. There we go, Justin. Oh my God, wait, we're actually cracked Justin Jefferson. And Justin would show pure domination throughout this position battle, as they could not guard him whatsoever, and he would comfortably be awarded the wide receiver 3 spot as a true freshman. Battle 1 for Justin Jefferson. And stay tuned, because we will be having more of these throughout the video. We would gain a ton of coaches' trust as we were nearing the wide receiver 2. Hey, we could maybe be wide receiver 2 by the end of the season. The only way to find out was, well, to play. Week 1 is upon us against USC. And with already being up 10, Justin Jefferson would get his first completion in college. There we go, Justin. But that would pretty much be our only attempt at getting involved in this game, as every snap that we would sub in for would be running plays until the 4th quarter came. All right, boys, we're only down 8. We got to make something happen here. Yes, feed Jettas. Feed Jettas for the first down. And that would lead us to a 27-12 victory. Hey, we get the dub in our first game as a college player. Granted, we didn't really contribute that much, but hey, that's not terrible. And after that game, we were coming for the wide receiver 2 spot, creeping right behind CJ Daniels. And after our first game, we'd get some important text, such as our first NIL deal. But even in a blowout win in week 2, we wouldn't play at all. All right, yep, Justin Jefferson, nowhere to be seen on the stat sheet. And even in week 3, where we find ourselves sitting on the sideline, cheering our team on, as we would win in an OT thriller. But once more would Justin Jefferson be absent from the stat sheet. And so since I wasn't playing, I was making sure my grades were good, so coach wouldn't kick me off the team. But our first loss would finally come in week 4, where you guessed it, we did not play at all. But that would finally change when we would gain enough of coach's trust to be in a position battle. The moment has finally dawned upon us. We are in a position battle, gentlemen. And just like the last position battle, we would dominate, with the defense having no answer to Justin Jefferson. And even for the route tree challenge, it was just too easy, as once again we would win another position battle. Wide receiver 2 is officially ours, fellas. And after that position battle, coach would see enough in us to actually surpass the wide receiver 1. And our first game as wide receiver 2 would be taking on South Alabama, where in the very first play would make a sudden impact. Yes, sir, Jettas. In our first game as wide receiver 2, we would get SEC Offensive Player of the Week against South Alabama, going for 192 yards and 4 touchdowns, and as well as being the National Offensive Player of the Week. Oh my God, the accolades are racking up already. And we were already looking like we were going to surpass Kyron Lacey as wide receiver 1 before the season even ended. And after our next bye week, the inevitable would finally arrive. Wide receiver 1 challenge. If we win this game, we will be wide receiver 1 as a true freshman. And our first challenge would be the route tree, which low-key was my favorite of the challenges, as it was one of the easier ones for me, as in 2 reps I would already beat Kyron Lacey's score. The next step would be my second favorite, which would be the zone attack, as this would actually be a bit tricky, but Justin was just too good, as we would quickly surpass Kyron Lacey's score. And there we have it. After a few more touchdowns, we would be the new wide receiver 1 for LSU. Position earned wide receiver 1 for Justin Jefferson. And our coach's trust would skyrocket after that. And winning that position battle was massive, because heading into this next week, we would be facing off against Ole Miss. We were now wide receiver 1 for our team, meaning our responsibility just went up a lot. There we go, Jettas. But we would end up losing that game, even though we would have 72 yards and a touchdown. And fast forward to week 11, we would be sitting at 4-4, but would have a chance to turn around our season with the win against number 1 ranked Alabama. All right, well, Alabama comes to town, which sucks because we aren't very good. We currently have 400 yards and 5 touchdowns, which isn't bad considering we didn't play for like the first 4 weeks. And Justin would be hyping up his squad, in which would be the biggest game of his college career so far. We would actually defeat Alabama 39-35, scoring 29 points in the 4th quarter, thanks to Justin's 82 yards and a touchdown, although CJ Daniels would have 124 yards and 3 touchdowns. yards. And after that game, we would be hosting another #1 team in Oklahoma, which in real life, Justin Jefferson would have 4 touchdowns and 200 yards against them. And not only wouldn't beat Oklahoma like Justin has before, he would still have an insane performance with 133 yards and 2 touchdowns. Hey, just like real life, baby, it all comes full circle. And as the season would end, we would get placed on the freshman All-SEC team and would be a freshman All-American as we'd make a bowl game. At the end of the season, I would cash in all my skill points on route running, boost us up to an 87. And heading into year 2, we'd have 800 yards and 11 touchdowns, which we were actually on pace to top his college yards and touchdowns. Okay, our first game of the sophomore season is going to come against Clemson. And that's an 87 overall. Justin was one of the best players on his team, but he was going to have to show up in such a hostile environment like Clemson. And on the very first play of season 2, we would get a 10-yard completion. There we go, Jettas. And even with this having 67 yards in the air, that wouldn't help us as we would lose to Clemson in the season opener. Yeah, I mean, I had a feeling we probably weren't going to win that game. And with this being 2-1, we would host the #3 team in the nation, being Texas A&M. With it being a night game, the team was pumped to get out there and try and defeat the #3 team in the nation. And we were making an impact early on for our team, but it wouldn't help us much. We lose by 18 points. Yeah, we lose by 18 points. At the midseason point, we'd be traveling to #6 Alabama. But before then, Justin would receive some massive upgrades. Okay, I'm putting 5 skill points on hands, and that's going to boost us up to an 88 overall. And hopefully that upgrade would help us traveling to Tuscaloosa to take on the Crimson Tide. And yes, we beat Alabama yet again. Justin Jefferson is 2-0 against them in his career. We had 91 yards on 5 receptions. No touchdowns, though. But it is what it is. We got the dub. And with that, my coach's trust would build. We would enter an impressive win streak, and I would credit my teammates. Yeah, you know what? I'm a team player. I'm gonna shout out my teammates. Because of that, our leadership would increase, and with a few more wins, we would jump up to 16. And with our final game of the season coming up against unranked Oklahoma, we had to win this game if we wanted a shot at the playoffs. Oh my God, there we go. Justin, break a tackle, baby. But after that reception, I wouldn't play again until the 3rd quarter. Why am I just now getting back in the game? I'm not really a fan of this, to be honest. I don't know what is going on, coach. And I don't know why we're running the same 2 plays every time, but you know what? I mean, it's working even though there's a flag, and it's probably coming back. Yep, it's coming back. Thanks, DJ. But thankfully, the quarterback would come back to me, where I'd move the chains, and once more would he find me. I would somehow catch this ball, and even this pass was pretty tough, but I would catch it, and I would be wide open on this play for a touchdown. Justin Jefferson finds the end zone, baby. We just own Oklahoma. We really do. But with Oklahoma tying it up, we would need to win this game. So the quarterback would go right back to me again, and once again. Justin Jefferson wide open again for another touchdown. Oklahoma should probably start guarding this guy. In this game, we go to overtime where we would already be trailing by 7, but not for long. Justin Jefferson with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And we get the ball right back where our quarterback would do this. Why did he do that? I didn't call for it. I didn't call for the ball. Because of that, Oklahoma would win the game. We had 180 yards and 3 touchdowns, and it didn't matter. It literally did not matter. And heading to our 3rd and final year, I would upgrade my route running to make us a 92 overall. All right, year 3, and we're a junior. That's a 92 overall. Our first game of the season would be against Oregon State. We would lose. Hey, at least Justin did have 78 yards and a touchdown, though, so I will take that. But our schedule wasn't going to get much easier. As the next week, we'd be taking on '7 Clemson, where we would fall to 0-2. Okay, how many yards did Justin Jefferson have? At least, okay, we didn't even play good either. We only had 47 yards. And checking in midway through the season, we would be 1-4. Okay, well, this is not ideal, literally at all. In only 5 games, Justin Jefferson's stats weren't looking the best. I mean, I guess he's on pace to have the same amount of yards as the other seasons, but he's a 93 overall now, bro. He should be so much better. So I would take matters into my own hands. Okay, we've got 5 skill points. I'm gonna spend it all on elusiveness and hopefully... Okay, wait, we didn't even jump up an overall at all. And in week 9, we would receive SEC Offensive Player of the Week honors with their 151 yard and 2 touchdown performance, but we would still be 3-5. Meaning this season was more than likely over, and it was just about Justin Jefferson getting good stats before he would declare for the draft. Okay, we've got 800 yards and and 11 touchdowns, and we still have a game or two left. This is our best season by far, baby. Well, although we would lose to Auburn, Justin would have 68 yards and a touchdown. And I was just spending the rest of my XP and energy tokens on training so I could get as much skill points as possible. Because at this point, winning wouldn't really help much. We would end the season with a 4-8 record, but Justin would have his best year yet. 973 yards and 12 touchdowns for Jettas. That's amazing. And because of this monster season, we would surpass Justin Jefferson's real-life LSU career stats with ease. With 5 skill points, I would upgrade my IQ, bring us all the way up to a 95 overall. Jettas is now up to a 95 overall. And after 3 years, Jettas would be on to the NFL. Declare for the draft and take your player to EA Sports Madden 25. All right, I just want to see how high he gets drafted. Will I know how high he gets drafted? Well, I guess I don't know. We don't know how high he'll get drafted. So stay tuned. And just for fun, I would simulate Justin's senior year where he'd put up 1,200 yards and 11 touchdowns as he would lead LSU to a 10-3 record, finishing 22nd in the nation, while also finishing his college career as a 97 overall. But if you enjoyed this video and you want me to replay someone else's career in college football 25, let me know down below. But in the meantime, check out this college football video right here where I played every game mode